While flip-flopping isn't such a good thing in politics, it can be a great thing in page layout, especially when pictures are facing the wrong direction. There are several ways to flip or mirror an object. I'm going to work on this image down here, and I'm going to move it up to this blank area so we can see it a little bit better, and zoom into 200% with Command 2 or Control 2 on Windows. Now, I'm going to hide my guide so I'm not distracted by them by pressing W to go into preview mode. And why don't we take this rotation off of here so we're not distracted by that? I'll change the rotation to 0 degrees. Now this looks great, except that my art director told me that the boy should be on the right side of the girl, not the left. This is easy to do by clicking on this mirror button, which mirrors it across the vertical axis. Now the boy is on the right side, looking pretty good. I could also flip this upside down by clicking this button here, but before I do, I want to make sure I pay attention to the reference point icon on the left side of the control panel. Whichever point is highlighted is going to be the one that stays stationary, and the rest of the image is going to mirror around that. So if I flip this upside down now, it's going to mirror around the bottom of that image. I'll click that, and you can see it flipped right over, but the bottom point stayed stationary. I'll undo that with a Command-Z or Control-Z on Windows and bring it back to where it was. Now there's something else I want to point out up here in the control panel, and that is this backward P. That is a great indicator that tells me that something has changed about this image. Because if you gave me this document and you had flipped it over, I would have a hard time telling that this was a mirrored image. But all I need to do is select it on the page, and I see that P, and I think, aha, they mirrored that. So it's a little alert to me that I need to pay attention to. Now I'd like to show you an example of one other way that you might want to use the mirror feature. I'll zoom back a little bit, just a little bit with the Command minus, and let's pan up with Option spacebar or Alt spacebar drag, and I'd like to make a reflection underneath this image. To do that, I'm going to turn off the white border that happens to be on this image. I'll just set the stroke to none, and I'm also going to turn off the drop shadow. Otherwise, that'll be very distracting and get in the way of my other effect. Next, I'm going to make this graphic frame a little bit less tall. I'm going to bring it up to her feet so we can see their feet, their legs in the reflection. That'll be a little bit easier to see. Next, I'm going to mirror this, but I need to mirror a duplicate of it. And the shortcut to doing that is to hold down the Option key or the Alt key while clicking on the mirror button. There we go. It duplicated it and flipped it over. Now, I don't need to see that whole thing, so I might as well bring that down a little bit. And I'm also going to scale it down a little bit by holding down the Command key on the Mac or Control key on Windows and just scale it down. That kind of squishes it in a little bit. Now, I'm getting the idea of the reflection here, but I need it to fade out to nothing. To make something fade out to nothing, I need to feather it. And the easiest way to do that is to use the Feather tool. I'll click at the top, drag down, and when I let go of the mouse button, you'll see that the image fades away to transparency. That's looking pretty good, but it's a little bit too strong. So I think I'll select it with the Selection tool, go to the Effects panel, and change the opacity to something smaller, maybe 30%. Now, when I deselect everything and zoom back, you can see that I've got a pretty good reflection effect based on the whole idea of mirroring that image over. I love that I can do these kinds of creative effects right on my InDesign page instead of relying on other programs. It's amazing.